without my love for the ocean, I would be long gone by now. It's some kind of devotion that brings me down. That without my love for the ocean, I would be no one. No
So we've been in Grenada now for about 3 weeks, and it's been kind of tough. The island is challenging to get around on, even though we have a rental car and a dinghy. The distances to get places is pretty far, and the roads are not great. Normally, I would be all about exploring the island, but the few times we've tried, we've been met with rainstorms and flooded roads. So we've just been pretty much hanging out here at the Marina, trying to make the best of it. And with that, we've been in some tight quarters with a lot of other cruisers, and I wanted to share some of my personal thoughts with you about everything that's been going on and where we are today. But to do so, I'm just going to read you what I wrote instead of trying to remember it all on the fly. So I apologize for that, but I think it's the best way to tell my story and deliver my message. So ever since we sold our Leopard 62 and boarded our smaller Vision 444, life has been non-stop. Between downsizing, moving boats, and getting our new home set up for comfortable living, we barely had time to catch our breath. Then came the Marina drama. At Harbor Town Marina, we were hit by other boats twice, and when we finally hauled out for repairs, even more damage was done. That meant extra stress, unexpected expenses, and falling further behind our goal to head south for hurricane season. By the time we left Dania Beach, most of our buddy boats were already tucked safely away in their hurricane holes. We, on the other hand, had nearly 2,000 nautical miles ahead of us. From Dania Beach, we made our way to Freeport to pick up our belongings, then down to Eleuthera. There we took a weather window and motored out into the deep Atlantic, what sailors call I-65, to bypass the thorny path through the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. We worried that if we went the long way, through the thorny pathway, we might get stuck waiting out weather and risk running into a named storm. Luckily, our plan worked, and we made it safely to the Virgin Islands. From there, we island hopped east through the USVI and the BVI. Most of it was motoring and uncomfortable sailing until we reached St. Martin. That's where we finally slowed down, enjoyed a few weeks of rest, and waited for the delivery of our new go-do dinghy. Once it arrived, we continued south with our friends on SV Magistra. We sailed on to Guadeloupe, where we soaked up the charm of the quaint French town de Hayes, indulging in more baguettes from the boulangerie than we'd like to admit. From there, we sailed to Les Saints, where we wandered through a historic French fort with incredible views. Our journey then took us to Martinique, exploring the vibrant town of Saint-Pierre, hiking the towering volcano Mount Pelee, and wrapping it all up by provisioning in the lively anchorage of St. Anne. But soon it was time to part ways. We had a boatyard appointment in Grenada that couldn't wait. We made it to Clark's Court on schedule, pushed through the haul-out and repairs in about a week and a half, and then moved over to La Faire Bleu Marina, where we've been ever since. La Faire Bleu has been great. A restaurant, coffee shop, spa, boutique, even a pool open to anchored cruisers. Our kids have loved meeting other boat kids and having enough friends around to throw a party. But with all that fun comes dock drama. Different parenting styles, school schedules, bedtimes, it can all add up to tension. And as much as I avoid confrontation, I've realized that sometimes you have to face it head on to move forward. The truth is, not all kids get along. Age gaps, cliques, and hurt feelings happen. I've learned that when parents jump in too quickly, it can actually make things worse. What kids would resolve in hours can drag on for days. So for us, it's about balance, supporting our kids, but also protecting our peace. And sometimes that means making the tough call to leave the comfort of a marina and go live at anchor again. With all that being said, we feel truly blessed to have met so many wonderful cruisers and their kids, many of whom are also making their way west to Panama in the coming months. We're excited at the thought of reuniting with them in Colombia or Panama and creating new adventures together. This is one of the beautiful things about boat life. Kids learn to navigate tricky social dynamics, build deep friendships that last across miles, and then rekindle those connections when paths cross again. As a parent, I think these are such valuable skills, especially in a world where it's all too easy to hide behind screens and social media. So while we wait for a good weather window to head west, we're grateful for the experiences we've had here in Grenada, even when they've been challenging. Oh, and before I forget, I did finally finish my bow shade. One of these calmer days, we'll test it out and see how it fits. I suspect it might need a few tweaks, but I'm glad I took on the project. Thanks so much for joining us and following along. Some weeks are more exciting than others, but I'll always do my best to share an honest reflection of our life on the water. As you know, it helps us a ton if you subscribe, give us a like, and leave us a comment. And if you'd like to support our journey and the time it takes to make these videos, we'd love for you to check out our Patreon page. Thanks again, and until next week, fair winds and following seas, my friends.
We don't want to spread any
Here's
sickness and
Finn.
diseases.
He knows everything there is to know about everything.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah, you
No,
do.
no.
What have you been doing all day? What have you been doing all day?
I don't know.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
And walking the dogs.
Yeah.
And playing Minecraft.
No.
No?
Well,
What'd
I
you
just play some
Fortnite?
Minecraft.
You play Fortnite?
No, I
Truth comes out.
Get off!